Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about The Walking Dead, specifically the most important fan theories surrounding the helicopter we saw in Season 8, Episode 5. Now, I'll go over the most popular theories, and then I'll cover my thoughts. And I am pretty certain, or at least I feel pretty confident we already know whose helicopter that is. Now, before we dive into this, I have been sick as a dog lately. So, yeah, the uploads are just delayed. Lots of stuff is just all a jumble. I do have a whole handful of notifications I need to send out for everyone who ordered Doomsday Kingdom comics. In the next couple days, we should be all caught up. And with the notifications, those have shipped. I just got to update your emails and send them to you. I'm going to try to find some time and do that tomorrow. But just be aware, everything is cruising along. If there's any problems whatsoever, I will reach out because it's looking like we're doing so good. If there are any problems, it's probably only going to be like, 2 or 3 people I'm going to have to reach out to, if any at all. So I do absolutely, really, truly, 100% appreciate all the patience you guys have given us. And trust me, I am putting in work to get those shipped out. So I appreciate it. Anyway, let's dive into this. And any other uploads like the Analyzed for episode 805, those are coming. Everything's just coming. Oh man, I feel like I need to clone myself. All right, let's dive into this. So the first fan theory a lot of fans like that I absolutely hate is that it's a hallucination. Now, I don't think this is the case at all. The Walking Dead doesn't really cover hallucinations in this way. It's just not. A lot of people think season 1 was a hallucination, and I strongly disagree as well. That was something like he saw and he followed. That was in the show. It was in the story. Same thing here. He's seen a helicopter. He didn't hallucinate it, and I completely reject that. But that is a popular one. I just want to mention that. All right, so the next popular one is that this is the big event, or whoever's on the helicopter is going to be the crossover event with Fear the Walking Dead, meaning it's going to have a character from Fear the Walking Dead. Let's use Nick as an example. He's going to be the crossover character. By the way, we're going to find out for sure who that is, and this is why I believe this theory is so popular at this time, because they're going to announce the character in the crossover this Sunday on The Talking Dead. I believe it's The Talking Dead, but they're going to announce that. Don't worry, it'll be all over the internet, even if you miss it. We'll probably do a separate video here just covering it as like a little news segment. So anyway, a lot of fans think that because of the timing of that announcement and the storyline in the show, and last week we just saw the sneak peek of the helicopter, it's somebody from Fear the Walking Dead. Now this I also disagree with. Distance is an issue, the timeline is an issue, and not working against it either. The distance, sure, that's working against it because they're all the way across on the other side of the United States. However, the timeline helps that because The Walking Dead is so far ahead by a year and a half at the very least. So they could actually, bridge that distance and keep the timeline realistic. However, the most important aspect, I believe, is the story flow and room for the character. Imagine, right now, the battle and the war, all-out war is a raging river, I'm not saying there's action every second, but the story's a raging river. It's got its focus and its destination. Imagine taking a character from Fear, this big crossover event, and plopping him in that river and expecting him to, go along with the flow. It would just disrupt things. And that's a really shitty way to put it, but that's how I feel. If you can make sense of that, I think the story flow, it just doesn't fit, and there's a lot of conflict there. If they did go that route, I would fear that's just forcing it in there. So I don't think it's the Fear the Walking Dead character. Next up, is it Negan and the Saviors? Now, in the comic book, Negan did hide stuff, and it was clever. He hid the fact that they had guns. On the TV show, that was done very different. But in the comic, it was important to the story. As a matter of fact, Rick underestimated him again because Negan hid the guns. And that is what essentially kicked off all-out war. Now, in the TV show, because of that, and other reasons, because Negan said they have the fat lady, or one of his saviors did, but that was brushed aside rather easily, and I do believe, or rather quickly, and I do believe the fat lady's like a rocket launcher not necessarily the helicopter. And if it was the helicopter, I believe they would have had a deeper discussion about how to utilize that. And since they didn't, I'm just going to have to say, nah. Not only that, we've seen the outposts, we've seen the headquarters, we've seen the sanctuary, and there's no mention, no hint, and there's no helipad, no landing area. There's just nothing that would hint to it at all. So I'm going to have to say, me personally, I don't think it's Negan and the Saviors. The next up, this one comes from comic book fans. I'm going to stay spoiler free, but let's just say let's say 2 seasons, let's say around season 10, if they continue with the same pace they're going now, around season 10, we should be meeting one of the biggest communities we've ever faced. Now, keep in mind, we didn't even meet this community yet. They release early covers for the comic books as like a trailer. The covers are the only way to first tease the story. So the covers for a comic book is essentially like what a trailer is for a movie. So we only got the covers. We didn't even get this in the story yet. You know what I'm saying? So this is how far ahead that is. A lot of fans think this is the early setup for that huge community coming down the line. Now, they have done this before. They did this with the Wolves, which I loved. Even looking back, I absolutely loved it. Having the W's in the heads and letting it just kind of slip into the story every now and then, where Rick finds a walker after they find the dismembered bodies. Then at Alexandria, Rick finds the walker with the W. Sasha shoots a walker, there's a W. Loving all those little hints. So they have done this before. Remember, they hinted at the Wolves in like episode 9 of season 5, and then we got the confrontation in season 6, episode 2 or something like that, episode 2 and 3. Now, we did see a hint of them when Daryl and Morgan got caught in their trap. So if they stay on track with what they did with the Wolves, we might see more hints of the helicopter coming up. I do believe that's likely. So they have set stuff up early in the past. However, with the new community, even though we haven't seen it in the story yet, we do know that this new community is a few states away. It's a good distance away from where they're at in Alexandria, and they're not going to just change that for the show. They've never done that yet with the communities, and I think it would be odd for them to start changing it now, especially since a community this large, you don't want it so close to the Alexandria, and then it'll be even more unrealistic, and then fans would even they'd be a little more put off, like, oh my god, come on, they were having this war and this community was just a couple hours away. Come on now, this huge community. So I think the distance is a huge problem. As far as I know, and I'm not a helicopter expert, not even close, but as far as I know, just looking at that small helicopter, there's just not enough fuel, in my opinion, to risk traveling that distance, and not having a safe area to land, not knowing where you're going to land. I just think the distance is a serious issue for it being this new community. And on top of that, how would you make the connection? Imagine, in Season 1, we've seen a helicopter, and then in Season 3, we saw another helicopter. A lot of fans love the theory that this is the same helicopter. I don't believe that. I do believe it's 2 different helicopters. It makes the world seem bigger, being 2 different helicopters, and it's kind of, 2 different areas slightly. So I like it being 2 different, but there's no connection. For the fans who want them to be the same helicopter, there's no connection. You can't prove that or make any connection. They don't look alike. There's no, like, if you got to see what they look like clearly, and you can tell 100%, like, they zoomed in and that is the same helicopter because of some identifying mark, well, there's no distinguishable mark here to make the connection if it is with this bigger group. So Rick sees it in the sky, and then a season or 2 later, he runs into this huge group that has helicopters, and we're just supposed to know that it's the same one, given they can show us another part of a moment. Like, let's say we run into another 2 or 3 guys on a helicopter, and Rick is going to approach them, and they get the hell out of there, and we get a good close-up, and there's some kind of mark or dent on the helicopter. And then, 2 seasons later, when they go to this huge community, they see a helicopter with a huge dent in it, and we know it's the same one. Sure, if they do something like that, all right, they can make it work. But in my opinion, there's just too much working against it. It's an idea I do like. I do get excited for early setup. Absolutely. But I just think there's too much going against it right now. The last, and I think the most likely candidate, is weird because it's the most likely candidate looking at all the evidence, but it's also the weirdest option. And yes, I think this is even weirder than Rick hallucinating it. I think it's stranger than literally all the other options. The final option is that this helicopter belongs to the trash group. Now, keep this in mind. Why we think this is because Rick stood on top of the up when he fought Winston. Before he fought Winston, we saw a CGI background, and there's nothing in there except for just dirt. Look at it on the screen. It's just a trash heap. He goes down and fights Winston. He comes up after fighting Winston and winning, being victorious, with the wound in his hand, and he smiles. They change the background to include another big chunk of section. They could have included, most of the similar shot like this, maybe made their jobs a little easier, I don't know, but they went out of their way to show a helicopter pad. So they show this helipad over here, and it's all the way over to the side, tucked away there. And when I first saw it, I looked at it as kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? And then I kept it moving. However, that CGI is just not slapped together. They're sitting there for hours and hours and hours putting this shit together. That was put there on purpose. But then I got to thinking, okay, if it's the trash group, why the hell is there a helipad in the trash dump? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't do that. You just don't do that. If you do a quick Google search, they put helicopters in areas where they can refuel. They put them by hospitals. There's emergency. There's search and rescue. There's all these different options, except for there's nothing that comes up around or has anything to do with a junkyard. So that just did not make any sense. So helipads are not at, junkyards, from what I can tell. So was this here before? That's what got my brain thinking. Was this here before society went to shit and then we had the outbreak? So I decided to do a quick search on portable helipads. So these are portable pads that you set up for helicopters. And now, to first understand this is definitely a helipad, I typed in helicopter pad, and this is what popped up. This is definitely a helicopter pad. It even says all of them have a big H, so that way you can see it from the sky when you go to make your landing, and yada, yada, yada. However, when I searched portable helicopter pad, this popped up. Somebody is selling these portable helicopter pads with literally the same exact design. It is square, and it's got the yellow ring around it, and if you look closely on this image, you can see the yellow square ring traced around the square, and then it has the H in a thick circle around it, which is different than a lot of other different helipads. But this portable one that someone is selling is identical. This company's selling it. The design is identical to what we see here, and to go one step further, there's a little bit of a gap lifting this helipad off the ground, which means this is I believe this is a portable helipad that was put there by the trash group because they found a frickin' helicopter. Somebody in their group knows how to, fly a helicopter. They found one, and they took it, and they use it to go on their little missions, and yada, yada, yada. And it was set up originally all the way back in the episode where he fought Winston. I think that has the most logical evidence, most realistic evidence, in my opinion. And again, I could be way off. I mean, totally off. It's not even funny. This could be misleading setup right here, but there's just something there that I see that as evidence for the trash people having a helicopter. Now, why is that important? What does that do? What purpose could that serve? I don't know. I don't know. Story-wise, that could be interesting for something coming up. I honestly don't know at this point in time. But I'm gonna have to say that and again, why would they even bother putting it into the story unless it's gonna play a part in the war coming up some way, somehow? There's gotta be something. There's probably, I haven't looked yet, but there's probably every Walking Dead YouTuber, on YouTube has probably already did a video on this with the helicopter. It's one of those too easy videos not to do. However, I'm really hoping none of them made the connection between the portable helipads and then regular, ones that are just stationary and they never move. So that way you guys at least get something new and fresh from this video. If so, give me those thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. Thank you very much for all the love and support you guys have been giving this channel. And on Instagram, I posted an image of what the new background looks like with the map, these really cool map letters, MAPP, and then above it is the 100,000 subscriber plaque. I'm putting together the perfect, or in my opinion, the perfect video for that plaque and to show it off. I'm really hoping you guys are going to like that video. It's a little bit different. I think it'll be fun and interesting if it works out the way I'm thinking of it. Anyhow, I'm going to shut my trap. I'm done talking. It's your turn.